Your brain is secretly working against you, making decisions before you even realize it, thanks to a process called neuro-priming discovered by psychologist John Bargh in 1996. In today's world of endless choices and constant distractions, understanding how your brain makes decisions is crucial for achieving your goals. You're about to uncover the hidden forces driving your thoughts and actions. Research by Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman in 1974 found that your brain relies heavily on the first piece of information it receives when making a decision, known as the anchoring effect. For example, in a study, people were asked to pay for a bottle of wine after being shown a high or low anchor price. Those shown the high anchor price were willing to pay more. This effect is so powerful that it influences even experienced real estate agents. In another study, agents were given a list of houses with their prices, then asked to estimate the value of a particular house without seeing its price. The agents' estimates were significantly influenced by the prices they had seen earlier. You must be aware of the initial information you're given when making a decision to avoid being anchored to an arbitrary value. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, also known as frequency illusion, is a cognitive bias where you start noticing a pattern or a word everywhere after being recently exposed to it, a concept studied by psychologists in the 1990s. For instance, when you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing the same model everywhere on the road. This isn't because the car is more common, but because your brain is now more likely to notice it. The same happens with words or concepts you've recently learned. You'll start seeing them in conversations, articles, and social media posts. This phenomenon was first observed in the 1990s when people started noticing the frequency of certain car models after purchasing one. Your brain is wired to recognize patterns, which can sometimes lead to false assumptions about reality. The Dunning-Kruger effect, identified by David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999, is a bias where people who are incompetent in a particular domain tend to overestimate their own abilities. For example, a person with limited knowledge of physics might confidently argue with a physicist, unaware of the vast gaps in their understanding. This effect is often seen in social media debates, where individuals with little expertise express strong opinions on complex issues. In one study, participants were asked to rate their logic skills after taking a test. Those who performed poorly rated themselves much higher than their actual performance. You must recognize that confidence does not always equal competence, and be willing to question your own abilities. The availability cascade, a concept introduced by Timur Kuran and Cass Sunstein in 1999, occurs when a rare event receives widespread attention, leading people to overestimate its frequency and importance. For instance, after a series of plane crashes, people might start believing that flying is more dangerous than it actually is, despite statistics showing the opposite. This cascade effect can influence not just personal perceptions, but also policy decisions, as politicians and media outlets amplify the perceived risk. In 2015, a study found that the widespread media coverage of plane crashes led to an increase in fear of flying among the general public, even though the actual risk of being in a plane crash had not increased. You should be cautious of the availability cascade, recognizing that the vividness of an event does not necessarily reflect its probability or significance. By understanding these mind tricks, you can gain insight into the hidden forces driving your thoughts and behaviors, allowing you to make more informed decisions and develop a more nuanced view of reality. With this knowledge, you'll become more aware of the subtle biases influencing your perceptions, enabling you to navigate the world with greater clarity and purpose. What's the most surprising mind trick you've discovered about yourself, and how has it changed your behavior? Share your story in the comments below, and subscribe for daily psychology and stoic wisdom to unlock more secrets of the human mind.